sense because it made sense in my mind. But
It worked out
hopefully,
well.
yesterday we talked about building, about being able to monetize your passion, how to discover that, what it even means. It doesn't have to be this deep soul searching thing. It can be. But one of the things, if you notice the image yesterday, had an empty toilet paper roll as part of the graphic. And I think a lot of people don't realize that there is something that they have that's of value. They think that their toilet paper roll is empty when it really isn't. And so we're hoping that you were encouraged and maybe a little bit empowered. And tonight we're hoping to help equip you to move forward and to step into being able to pivot during this crazy Twilight Zone time that we're in and build something or grow something around something you're interested in, your passion, your knowledge that you have, something along those lines. We're going to show you how to build out multiple income streams.
Yeah.
So excited to dig in. Okay, I see barbecue kebabs because it's dinner time here.
Yes.
And I forgot to put the meat ahead of time, so we're going to have a late dinner again. But okay, we have you until dinner starts. All right, what's for dinner?
Let's hurry up.
Okay.
Let's get through this then.
Okay, you go, Ryan. You take this one.
All right, cool. So guys, this is what we're talking about tonight. We obviously, hopefully give you some, a little bit of fuel yesterday to realize, yeah, this is possible. You can do this. You can take something that you're passionate about, something that you're knowledgeable about, something that you like to do, a hobby, an interest, literally anything. And people are going to pay you for it. And tonight is more of the blueprint on how to actually make that happen. And as we go through this, don't get overwhelmed, because this is not like, hey, you should do all of these, or you're going to do all these at the beginning. Guys, some people never do some of these. You have to do at least one of these. You start somewhere. And we'll talk about some places you can start. But this is just kind of to give you an idea of what's possible. We'll use some examples of how you can take something that you're passionate about and what that looks like. All these different pieces, this is how you're going to get it out to the world. This is going to be the model of how you attract people into your audience and how you start to serve them. So we're going to go through each of these pieces one by one, but this is, we call this the engagement funnel. Another word to say this is internet marketing funnel. You've all seen them. You got to imagine taking a funnel and putting it in, like normal, right side up, and you're putting all the stuff in the top, and at the bottom, a smaller amount comes out of it. Your funnel with your audience is going to be the exact same way. You're going to have so many more people that listen to a podcast, that get your free download, whether that's an ebook, a checklist, a tip sheet, or something. And not all of them are going to get down to one-on-one coaching if you offer that. Not all of them are going to buy your course. And guys, that's okay. That's to be expected. But you get them at the top, and as people go down further, there's more engagement with you. There's more involvement. There's more time involved with you. So over on the right-hand side, you see less hand-holding, the more hand-holding, meaning you may never, ever talk to that person that listens to your podcast. You may never talk to the person or engage with the person that downloads an ebook. However, down closer to the bottom, you're probably going to know them by name, some of them by name. And also, because of that, there's more money involved. Your time is super valuable. And it takes a lot more time to do one-on-one coaching than it does to deliver an ebook. In fact, delivering something like that is completely automated, or you should have it automated. And so over on the left, then it goes from free or very inexpensive all the way down to much higher dollar signs. Because again, this is a business. And so you want to serve people really well, get them in, and then serve them well. And as they go down, you have an opportunity to serve them even better and create what I've been reading a book called Superfans by Pat Flynn. You create superfans, people who essentially just will you'll have some folks that will buy every single thing that you come out with, just because they love you, they love what you're about, they've gotten to know, like, and trust you. So let's jump into this, what each of these pieces are. Jenny, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, just to throw out another term for this, you said engagement funnel, sales funnel, marketing funnel.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have really liked to describe this as a spectrum of revenue. Mm-hmm. So, Ryan, you talk a lot about multiple income streams. And to me, this is like a spectrum around one thing. So you don't want to, sometimes when I think of funnel is I think the first thing leads to the second one, which leads to the next one, which leads to the next one. And that's not necessarily how this has to be played out. It can be, but it doesn't need to be. You can actually pick and choose and start anywhere here, and build out these other income streams around a single offer. And so that's why I look at that kind of as the spectrum of revenue. And then as people, get more engagement, like Ryan was saying, have more engagement with you, that costs more. They're getting more individualized support. And so there's usually a cost, and that's usually expected on their end as well. But
before we also get in, should we go ahead and have them, because guys, we'd love to do an example from you. Maybe somebody in here has a niche that they want us to brainstorm the possibilities that what this could mean for you.
Yes.
If you don't want to use your example, pick something else. We have some things in mind if nobody wants to be the guinea pig, but put in, if you're comfortable, put in what your niche is, and we'll kind of just flesh out what a possible funnel could look like for you and all the different things. Okay, Mary, weddings for kids. That's good.
Weddings for kids.
Weddings for kids. Wait, what's that?
Wait a minute. Okay, kids at weddings. Okay. Like, hold on.
Wrong country.
Okay, so I will say though, 10 minutes before we got on, we were just quickly going through the slides together and thought, you know what, let's do this. Let's just see if you guys have something you want us that we can go through. This is not planned, which I think is so cool. I love doing that. We it's not fun to be put on the spot usually, but it is fun to be able to just show you how much is possible. And that's really the point, is we did not plan on this wedding for kids or kids at weddings, but and who knows, well, we'll do that one or another one. But as we were going through the slides, we thought, let's pick a different example, maybe something that you guys have. So let's make this interactive. So if you have an example, like Ryan said, a niche, something that you're kind of a passion, a knowledge that you have, throw it out there, and we will use yours your idea as an example to flesh out and to build out and show you what a spectrum of revenue could look like. It doesn't have to be this way, but it is a way to build it. And we'll use you as an example. So.
Oh my gosh.
Some of you guys are responding. Awesome. Well, just reading the comments. Wanting to live the retired lifestyle. Yep. Okay. In the chat. Sorry, we have like 4 different places to look at. Senior entrepreneurs, natural healing, heavy metal detox course. Woo.
That's a good one.
Yep. Okay. So keep posting your comments. We'll choose in a minute.
I'll choose 1 or 2, maybe. We might even be able to do a couple. Okay.
Yep. Okay,
all right, let's keep plowing through this. What's next here? So this is just the master plan of influence, guys. This is again, we talked last night, we mentioned that how this came about. We started a course called Private Labeled Easy Way. I wrote a book about it, about doing physical products on Amazon, having your own brand. Met Jenny, it turned into a course, and we had all these different revenue streams from that one main piece of content. And we saw, hey, we have a blueprint. This is the exact same thing we're doing here. Could work for about any piece of content, any niche. And so that's when the light bulbs went off in our heads, and we said, hey, we need to teach this, because there are people out there that have a message that matters, that other people need to get, or you just want to monetize that thing that's been bugging you for a long time, that knowledge that you have. Everybody's asking you about these things. How do you get it out to the world? So this is what we're going to talk about. And this is the blueprint. And it has it's an acronym, MASTER. And it's the M is meet a need. And this is essentially where they enter your funnel. This is their first, where they first get to know about you. And there's so many different things this could be. This could be like a checklist. It could be a quiz or an assessment. Those are popular right now. It's what we call a lead magnet many times. It's an opportunity for somebody to say, hey, I want that information. That's valuable enough for me to give in exchange my email address, my information. Now, this is not as easy as it was 10 years ago. You got to be a little bit more, I guess creative. You're not going to probably get as many opt-ins on an ebook as you would before, but there's so many other things this could be. And it's essentially just an opportunity to give somebody an experience with you to kind of get a taste of what your brand is all about, what you're all about. And that's the M piece here. I'll show you some examples on the next slide that we have done. And this is, I mean, it could be a book. It could be a free plus shipping offer on an actual physical book. It could be an ebook. It could be, like we said, a checklist, a swipe file, templates, again, a quiz assessment. It could be a podcast. That could be one. You can have many meet a need pieces. Like my friend Dan Miller, for example, has all kinds of downloadable things. Get this worksheet, the sweet spot worksheet that he has. And he also has a podcast. So he has several things that fill that funnel for him. Now, don't look at that and think, oh my gosh, I have to have 5. No, you just start with 1. So what's going to be that one thing that stands out for you? Look at what other people in your industry are doing. So if you have whatever your niche is, just start looking around. What are other people doing that is a lead magnet? What are some things that you have given your email address in exchange for those? And guys, don't overthink this process at all. Don't overthink this step. You want to get it done quickly. You want it to look nice, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And it's your lead generator, and it's something that will fill a gap. Somebody's like, yeah, I need that. And it's valuable information, but it's not the whole thing. It's not everything you know about that topic. Right. It's something that just kind of whets their appetite, is almost a teaser. Now it's good information. And then some of them people are going to be able to just take that and run with it. But most people are going to need more. Most people are going to want more from you. Hence, that's the folks that are going to go further down the funnel.
Love it. Right. Okay. Did we choose one?
We did not, but we can. Let's.
Well, we just wanted to give some examples, right? And so this is usually what we talk about because this is well known within our audience usually, but kind of wanted to talk about something that might be a little bit different. This, I'll let you choose one, Ryan.
Oh gosh. Let's see. How about what if we combine like the natural healing and the heavy metal detox? Those are kind of the same niche. We can kind of 2 of those at the same time.
Sure.
Some Amazon related stuff. So we'll stay. I mean, you guys know, we could do a few things. I mean, what's cool about this, guys, is it's all about the same. It's going to look very similar. You may choose a different lead magnet based on the niche that you have, but it's going to be the same process no matter what, which is what makes this so great. So I guess the heavy metal detox / natural healing, we can combine those 2. So what would a lead magnet look like for that? So just off the top of my head, a few things could be like, the 5 foods to never eat, or the 5 foods to eat if you want to heal naturally. Heavy metal detox. The 10 thing. It actually could be that could be a challenge almost. Right. You could do set up a free Facebook group and invite people to a 10-day detox challenge, and have them sign up in that group. It's a pop-up group. It's something that you could have up for a while and then close if you wanted to. At the end of that challenge, you have a course that you offer for sale. So it's a free challenge. You get everybody that you can possibly think of to get in there. You could even run Facebook ads to that challenge. Another cool thing is if you sell the actual physical products. Jenny has an example of a friend that did a challenge that was a health challenge, that in order to participate, you were highly, highly encouraged to buy these products that this person also happened to sell. So that would be a way to monetize up front. All right. Those are a few things. Jenny, what would you say?
Well, I was just thinking, okay, if you were just starting out, a challenge in my opinion is very easy, but I think an easier lead magnet might just be to create a PDF with, 5 foods to eat. In fact, Michael, you posted on Zoom 5 foods that help with anxiety. Could be the same thing. 5 foods that help with metal detox, or and start with that. That's easy. That would probably take, in Canva, you could pop that out in, half hour. Even if you're not they have templates that you can use. Just change the text on there and you're good to go. And you just save it as a PDF. Okay. You could put that on a Facebook page, on a website, and just have it as something that you refer people to. It's a resource. It's a way that people remember the slide before here. you're wanting people to, actually, it's not that one. I don't know where it was, but you want people to have an experience with you. So that's what you're doing. You're letting them have an experience with you. You're giving some credibility, and you're basically looking to get known. That's really what meeting the need is. That M piece is you want to get known as, you know what, I recognize a need here and I have a way that can help meet it. So the easiest way I think to do that is just to create a PDF. And it can be as simple as a single page PDF. It doesn't have to be a big ebook. It doesn't have to be a big challenge or anything like that. But what I like about like the 5-day challenge, if you're confident to move into this right away, this could be cool, but it might be something you do second or later down the road. A 5-day challenge for natural healing, like you had said, a friend of mine did this, and she used products. But what I was thinking as you were talking, Ryan, was if I did a 5-day challenge or even a 10-day challenge, I would be creating content throughout that challenge.
Yeah.
So day one, I would do it within a Facebook group or even on my Facebook page. And I would have graphics that I'm creating. Okay, day one, here's what we're doing. Here's day two. So you come up with 5 things that are going to be for your challenge, and you have content of some sort of information to help people with those challenges, right? Maybe it's a day of, okay, 5-day, for day one, here's your shopping list at the grocery store. Make sure you have these foods, and so your shopping list, you've given that to them for day one. Well, guess what? That shopping list can be its own lead generator too, outside of the challenge. So that kind of thing, you would end up with additional additional M pieces, I guess. And you had said, you used the example of Dan Miller, and all of us who are doing this if you've been doing it for any amount of time, you likely have multiple meet a need, lead generator, those pieces, and like Ryan said, don't think you have to do them all on right away. You just start with one. And as you get going, you'll end up with more. But know that this is something that you want to be having, and having multiple lead generators is awesome because you meet different people's needs differently, right? Yep. So some people might want the shopping list, and other people might just want the 5 foods that I need to be eating for 30 days or something.
Yeah.
So you're able to reach more people with the more you have that you're offering out there, right? And they are then able to have more experience with you, which builds more credibility, helps you get more known. So I just wanted to say that you don't have to, like the 5-day challenge, I think is amazing, a great idea, especially for this niche, because it really isn't that difficult, and it will help you create more content that you can repurpose and use later. But it might be a little bit advanced. If you're just starting out, you don't need that. You can just have a single PDF page that lists is a checklist, and you don't want to give everything away. You just want to share value. Okay. And that being valuable and bringing in valuable content as a lead generator, it doesn't I think some people do think they have to share everything for it to have value, and you absolutely don't. Sometimes I've found if you share everything, actually the biggest problem I was just listening to Frank Kern yesterday, and the biggest problem for people who what holds people from keeps them from taking action is overwhelm. And so if you're giving them everything that on the upfront right there, you are going to overwhelm your audience, and that doesn't serve them well, right? So you don't want to do that. You just want to give them a taste and value in that, but you want to give them a taste of what you know and what you're about, so that they can experience you, and that will help build credibility, and they'll want more engagement with you.
Yes, good stuff.
Okay. And this goes right into it. You want it to be valuable, but incomplete. Okay. You want to provide a bit of a solution. You want them wanting more. Sorry, I took over. You go.
No, totally good. That's what this is about. We add value to each other's sections here. So the M is just a skeleton. Imagine that, just like it's the bones of it, and it provides the framework for the rest of your stuff. And it could be it starts that content. So if your lead magnet was the 5 foods to never eat, then maybe the course maybe one module of the course would go deep into those 5 things, and then have 6 other modules with it. So it's just a very skeletal, it just provides the framework. And like we just said, it kind of gives them a taste of what's to
Mm-hmm.
come. And you want them thinking, oh my gosh, this right here is good. This is free. I wonder what the paid stuff's like.
Mm-hmm. There's some good questions.
Yeah, we can take some if you want.
Why don't we do that about the lead generator, and then we'll move on to the next one. So
Sure.
Renee's saying, with the PDF offered by your lead generator, do you suggest doing a Facebook post with a link to get the PDF? What other ways do you suggest getting the lead generator in front of people?
Yeah, well,
And
definitely, totally do social media for sure. I mean, it's getting it out
Mhm.
as any way you possibly can. It could be, you know, throwing it out there on social media for sure, getting other people to post it for you. Going into communities, we're going to talk about community here in a little bit. Going into those Facebook groups, Renee, it comes down to who's your audience, where they're hanging out online, get in front of those people. And now you're not going to go into a Facebook group related to, detoxing and say, hey, look, everybody, I'm here. I have this free download. Go do this. Go take it. Go grab it. It's going to be more kind of stealth, under the radar, more just seeing questions, serving folks. Then they are going to stalk you. They will find you like, hey, you know what? That Renee knows what she's talking about. She's answering questions all the time. They're going to find you, and they're going to go to your Facebook page, your Facebook business page, and they're going to see on there, because you're going to have a place on there for them to be able to get that free download. And then that's how they're going to be introduced, or they're going to private message you and say, hey, tell me more about that. And then that's when you can say, hey, you know what? I have some free information. Just instead of like spending hours and hours and hours and chat with somebody, say, here's this, you're happy to answer questions, but you do this a lot, you're going to get a lot of messages. So that's where you just send people to your free download, say, hey, grab this. If you have questions, message me after that. And then that's when you can kind of lead them to the other things that are further down your funnel. But yes, the question, I mean, you get it out there everywhere you can.
Right. And another way you can deliver it, if you want to, Renee, is and you might be in a position where you would be doing this now, is have an opt-in. So you're collecting their email addresses. Ultimately, that's what you want, because when you have email addresses, you have more control. If you're just reaching people and have the download on a Facebook page, you don't know who's downloaded it and who hasn't, and that's fine. But ultimately, you never are able to interact with those people again. Right? It's the ball's now in their court. Whereas if they have to join an email list to get that PDF, then you have the opportunity to continue that relationship and to nurture that. So it kind of depends. I would say ultimately that's the goal, is to get people on your Facebook, on your email list. Sorry. More people, I think, are less, they need more incentive to get on, to join a mailing list. So there's that to think about. But that's where something like maybe a 5-day challenge would be good. So you're getting people into a group, so you have some control over nurturing that relationship. And then maybe you do something else where it pulls them into an email list where you can continue to, interact with them. So, you can think that through. But if the easiest way to do it, the fastest way, is just get a PDF and put it on a Facebook page and other social media places. And as you grow, then you can move into, you know what, I think I'm going to do an email list, and I'm going to do it this way. Don't think you have to do it all. You can't do anything until you have that all set up, because that can be overwhelming, and we don't want to overwhelm you. We want you to know you can actually do this very quickly. You can take a half hour, set up a PDF of just like 5 top things, 5 ways to detox, 5 ways to cut out, or to add this to your diet, or I don't know, whatever it is that you want to share. And maybe there's 30, but you just want to take 5 for, or 10. That's that valuable but incomplete piece, right? It's that skeleton. So you guys are asking so many great questions, and I want to make sure that we hit them. Is there anything else that's specifically related to the M piece that you've seen, Ryan? There's some I want to hit for sure at the end.
I don't think so. We can save
Okay.
most of them for the end. I was just posted, you guys. I know that Jenny says, yeah, it's super easy to do it in Canva. And the truth is, it is. But if that is going to be a stumbling block for you, get on Fiverr.com.
Absolutely.
I put a link in there. Probably for about $25 to $50, you can have somebody to create a decent lead magnet for you. Just if you give them direction, I want these 5 things on there. And they'll create one that looks pretty sharp. So just hire that out. Don't stumble over that. Don't take 2 weeks to do this. Like, it literally, I am not a graphic designer. I could do it. Jenny says 30 minutes, probably take me 45.
Really? I think you could do it in 30.
Okay,
it'd probably
maybe
take
I
me
can.
10. I mean, seriously, there's templates there.
You 10 and me 25. Okay.
It doesn't have to be a big
don't
thing.
let this stop you.
Don't get stuck there. That's the point.
Don't get stuck there at all.
Right. And Jean has a good question. You answered it, but does it matter if lots of other people are doing the same thing?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, at this point, no. Where we're talking about here, not necessarily. You do, of course, the more differentiated you are, the better, but you want there to be competition. That helps you understand that there's a market for this, right?
Yeah.
So don't be scared to step into those places. Remember yesterday we were talking about how you're created unique. You have something different to offer. The way that the 5 things you choose for that checklist will be different than what other people are choosing.
Yeah.
You're speaking from your own knowledge and experience and skill set. So let's move on.
Yep.
I'll take the A, I guess.
Good.
So A it stands for add value. So if the M piece is valuable but incomplete, the A is going to complete that information. Okay. So maybe that looks like a checklist of 5 things, but you really have a whole month or you have a whole year of recipes or, something. What were we doing? Natural healing. So, or heavy metal detox, which is not my topic, but I understand you can take this blueprint and still apply it there, right? So our example, what we've done is had assignments, like lessons, something where you're asking them to do something. You're putting meat on the bones. Your bones are, usually it's related to the M, but it doesn't have to be. And what I mean by related is this example here, there was a book that was written. It was like 75 pages. We took that book and turned it into assignments for a course. And that was our add value piece. It doesn't have to be that. It can be a webinar series, a workshop series, that kind of a thing. And maybe your M is that first one, the first one in the workshop. Maybe you have 4 webinars that you're doing on Zoom. Honestly, I think a lot more people are getting more comfortable with Zoom than ever. And so use that to your advantage. Don't shy away from getting on and doing what Ryan and I are doing right now. You don't even have to have slides. You can just talk and share your knowledge. If you need slides, do slides if that adds value to what you're doing. But you can actually have paid workshops that are just done through Zoom. Take that first one and make that your freebie. Invite people on live, record it, and then you have a recording that you can offer, and that's your lead generator. These all can work together. So your A is adding value. It's going a little bit deeper. So if you had a checklist, Ryan, of 5 things, 5 foods to eat for heavy metal detox, what would you do for an add value piece?
I mean, it's probably the easiest one that most people do is a course. And so, I mean, it wouldn't have to be that, but that's the easiest one to usually wrap your mind around. So it would be a full detox course, and you may be taking them through an 8-week process, and you're going to, why detox? You'd have an outline, but you guys that are in that niche know what that would be probably already. Essentially, you've probably gone through these things, but it would probably a course of something, and it could be attached to a Facebook group where people can ask questions, which we'll talk about in the next piece. It could be, like you said, live webinars. You could have paid live webinars or workshops. Sometimes we call them. Wouldn't have to, and that could be recorded and then turned into what you think of normally as a course. And guys, there's so many options. It can get overwhelming, but that's why you pick one. Like what is going to be the easiest thing for you to get started right away? And don't look at a course and think, oh my gosh, that's going to be such a lot of work. You're going to have to sit and record hours and hours of content and then get it out and hope people purchase it. No. Jenny and I teach as a method of creating a course super fast and actually being able to pre-sell it. And we talk about that inside our Influence the Easy Way program. We've done a lot of things that way. We've pre-sold courses before we've even created one piece of content.
Right. And that's in the units in the group, in this Facebook group, there is a course showing you how to create a course in 3 days. So don't let that hold you back. And it shows that whole process of, I'm trying to figure out how to call it, how to name it. Get all your ducks in the pond. They don't have to be in a row.
Right.
You don't have to have all your ducks in a row. You just have to have them in the same pond. That's a really long name for a course, but that's really the idea behind how we teach it.
Yeah, it is.
So, okay, I want to go back to a question that Ryan shared in, not this Ryan, but a different Ryan shared in the Zoom chat. He said, I have a solid outline for creating a small book for new teachers. Should I go ahead and write the book and then use that as a lead generator? And you totally could. You totally could. And probably 5 years ago, I would have said, yes, that's a great idea. Now I have a little bit of a different perspective. You still could do it, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's not a bad way to go. But I would actually, if you have an outline for a course, I might actually do or an outline for a small book. I might consider seeing if I could turn that into a course.
Yes.
And having your first one be, all you need is an outline really to get started, and Zoom and a Facebook group. And that's kind of where we go in the training that's underneath units here. So if you have the outline for creating a small book for new teachers, maybe you end up in that outline, you go, okay, I could do this in 4-hour sessions, 4 workshops, just like we're doing here, right? So this would be one. And that first one, maybe it's an overview of the whole process, and you give that away for free. You get that transcribed and have that be the freebie, and have it actually feed into something that people are paying for. Or you could do the whole thing for free and then have another deeper, we'll talk about deeper levels or different revenue streams that you can add. But anyway, that's what I would think of. And the reason I suggest that is because you don't have to invest as many resources on that front end. So you could write a book and use that. That's a lot of effort to put in at this point. And doing a workshop series like this, if you have the outline created, you're ready to go. You could just get on and start. It doesn't take as much work on that front end. What would you say?
I love Jenna's question. We'll get to that maybe at the end, because it's just a good one. I got a lot to say on that one. Yes, I agree with what you said, Jenny, that, Ryan, you could do a book and make that the download and make it an ebook. But just, again, I'm learning all the time in this area and learning what other people are doing. And the kind of what's the popular thing now is things that people can get through quick. Like, nobody really wants to download a 100-page ebook and read it. They're not going to read it. So maybe a free chapter, maybe it's just a checklist of some kind, something very small that would be the lead magnet. And then that outline for that book ends up becoming an outline of a mini course, or maybe a full-blown course. So I would not wait to have a whole book written to get a lead magnet out. Now, that doesn't mean you couldn't still write the book and still give it away for free when you get it done, and that be another lead magnet. But that's probably not going to be your primary one.
Okay. There's a question by A, people are investing money, or is this free? So I wanted to just go back to this. Remember, free, it could be free, but usually the M, the lead generator, is what's free. And then as you move down, it would be inexpensive, most likely. And by inexpensive, I would say probably somewhere in the $17 to $97 price range.
Absolutely, is what I was going to say too.
So that's really kind of where we look at the A. Sometimes we'll do an A and I'll make it free. It kind of depends on my goal. Usually I do that if I know what my bigger picture is. And that's what this map is for you guys. And that's why we brought this up at the beginning, is this is your big picture.
Right.
So we're talking about the individual pieces, but this is your big picture. And we'll talk a little bit more at the end about how to implement all of that. But these are, we're breaking down each one. So this is
like if your main goal was like one-on-one coaching that was $5,000, then you may have an A piece that's only $7, $17, something very low end, because you want to get as many people into the funnel as possible. If you have nothing beyond that, then maybe you have a higher A piece. Maybe it's $97. Maybe it's even a little bit more than that. Maybe it's $197.
It kind of depends on what your content is too. Like, how much are you, what are people walking away with? That will help you determine your price point. That's a whole nother topic. And actually that's addressed in the course creation training that's underneath the units. Pricing is talked about there too. So, but that was a good question. All right.
Very good question. Yes, we got to hurry up, don't we?
Yeah.
SP, social community. This is a fun one. This is like, what we're doing right now is we consider this the social community piece, interacting with folks on Facebook, on Zoom. This, guys, is super, super key. When we created the private label the Easy Way program with an attached Facebook group. We thought, oh, aren't we so nice? We're going to be able to be in there and helping people out, answering their questions. Now, I'm sure that helped. It's helped a lot of people. We have like 2,400 people in there now. But I would probably go as far as to say that it's probably been more valuable to Jenny and I to have that group than for the folks that are in there, because we have learned so much. I think, Ambika, you said it earlier on Facebook, that you learn where people are stuck. You put a course out, and then you see where questions are, and you're like, wow, I didn't think people would get stuck there. Well, what can we do to get them over that hump? And for us, that's turned into other revenue streams, other ways to serve them and get them further along in the process, get them over those obstacles. And so this is so fun. It's our favorite part of it. It's obvious. It's a way for you to teach them, to train them, to add more content. If it's a membership site that you're doing, maybe you're in there doing monthly office hours and hangouts and ask me anything type panels or new webinars. But really, it's gold for you, because you get valuable feedback from folks, and that will tell you where to go next. If people are getting stuck, you think, okay, well, maybe I need to do an accountability type group. Maybe it's a Zoom call where it's me and 8 people, and you charge for it, and we're going to walk you through. I'm going to handhold you through this process. So you find those things out by listening in those groups.
Okay. We're going to camp here. Okay. We're going to camp here because this has more and more value. Now, when we first created this blueprint and we're looking at what we had done, I still don't think we realized how valuable. We knew the community piece was valuable, but I don't think we realized at that time even how valuable it really is. And I would argue, moved my mouse and it flipped. I would argue that this is probably the most valuable piece that you have, if you can build a social community, because of that interaction, guys. It's all about the relationship. And if you are not having any relationship, you can only take the business and those transactions so far. Right. That relationship will allow you to grow. We briefly showed a slide, I think it showed up here and in the last presentation, about this process, the serve, engage, grow. All of that is about building relationship. And when that serving is about building relationship, when that is your focus and you're looking to build community, all of a sudden things change. They really do. And you grow, you engage with people, and growth is a natural byproduct of that. So this is absolutely huge, to be able to provide a community. And not only does it allow you to serve, it's like a win-win-win. It's just like this, it just keeps feeding each other. Like you serve, you get more information, which allows you to serve better, which then gives you more feedback, which then you can serve better. It's this great cycle that just keeps going. And so if you don't know what your next thing is, build a social community and start listening, or go into the groups. We said this yesterday, get involved where your people are. It doesn't even have to be your community that you're building right now. Get involved and start listening. Now, ultimately, you want to build your own community because you want to be the one engaging mostly with your people, and serving them. And you're limited on how you can do that when you're playing in other people's sandboxes, right? So you want to have your own sandbox that you're inviting people to, so that you have some control there. But this right here, absolutely most important for sure. And in regards to charging.
Yeah, more access is more value. I mean, guys, the people who come down to this level, you're going to be able to, those are the ones that are going to go further. They're going to be your star students. And it's a great way to serve folks, but it's also super, super valuable for you. But obviously, since it's more time involved, it means more value for them, which also means a higher price tag.
I'm just thinking about that. Yeah. And yeah, we'll just stay with it.
Guys, one quick thing, one thing for homework you could do is, I know some of you are probably ready to create a lead magnet. Go for it and do that. Some of you are like, man, I'm not really sure what that lead magnet looks like. And maybe you're not in a position you have to make money tomorrow on this thing. Just go out and get involved in Facebook groups, find groups that are in your niche and start serving in those communities. and or creating your own Facebook group. This could be a totally free Facebook group that you do. That's just a way to serve, to get engagement. And when you have engagement, Facebook will suggest your group to other people searching for that niche. Your group will grow. It's a free group. You do that for a while. Maybe it's 2 months, maybe it's 2 years if you're just having fun and you aren't ready to monetize it yet. But at the point where you're ready to monetize it, say those people will be your fans, and they're not going to be like, oh man, now you're trying to charge us for it. No, they're going to realize that you've been creating free content, serving them for X number of months. They're not going to care. Most of them are going to be eager because they want to go further with this information. And probably long before you decide to come out with, people are going to be asking you, hey, do you do coaching? Do you have a course? Do you have a book? Because they're wanting to go faster in whatever niche you're teaching.
Right. So that was kind of what I was thinking here was, yes, more access to you is more value. But the thing about community is you are gaining so much value out of it too, that it's almost worth getting as many people in there as you can so that you can learn more about your people and how to serve them better. Robert has a great question. He says, community sounds great. What are your most important communities? Facebook groups, Instagram, Pinterest? I think it depends on your people.
I was going to say people? Facebook groups for sure, because there are no groups on Pinterest and Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. But there's other places, other communities, but where are your people hanging out? Facebook, I think is, I mean, like yesterday we were talking about that Instant Pot group, right? So there's something for everybody. And the thing is, with everything virtually being online now, like 50 to 70%, I haven't looked at the numbers more recently, but within the last, 2 weeks in, I think, in this whole lockdown stuff and what we're dealing with, the numbers of people, the growth of people online, it grew 50 to 70%. That's huge. And you can bet a lot of those people are on Facebook, even people who never were before, because they're looking to connect. And so, of course, there's other places like Mighty Networks and, other things where you can build and maybe find some community. But Facebook, there's a lot of people there. So it's probably a good place to start. But really the question to ask is, you can make that assumption, but where are my people hanging out? Are they hanging out on Facebook? I would start there to look and see. Let's see here. Looking in the chat. Yep. Excellent, Michael. You could also give hints to what you're working on, like a seed launch. Yep. Great. Sorry, Ryan, I just saw that you responded to that too. So, okay.
Oh, totally.
There was something else about this, but I can't remember. So we'll come back to it if it comes back in my mind. So the T piece, this one's fun too. And
together, everyone achieves more.
What?
Together, everyone achieves more.
Yes. Oh, I see. TEAM. I get it. I haven't heard that one yet.
Oh, really?
There's others I've heard about, there's no I in team and all that,
right.
But team, I would say the S and the T piece are the most fun, because it really is exciting when you start engaging with people.
Right.
I'm going to say I'm an introvert, and I still think that, I believe we are all created for community, and we need that face-to-face space. Okay. The team piece could be a little bit challenging right now, except for we can take everything online. It's a smaller version of the bigger social Facebook group community. It's like a small group. It's more, you are able to invest more. People are more invested. A few examples are like, we've done a mastermind where we've limited it to 8 people. Live events, those might be actually not limited, right? They could be 1,000 people or more. But you still, when you're face to face with people, it's another ball game. So the T piece it's more intense than just the S piece. Group coaching, we've done things we call them tag groups or take action groups. I almost said take advantage groups.
Take advantage
not
groups?
What it is.
Don't do that.
No. Take action groups.
But Jenny said.
That we've done that, and it's more like a classroom kind of a scenario where there's 30 to 50 people that we do cap it, but it's not a mastermind because you can't get as close to people as you can when it's a smaller group. So it is more intense. One-on-one coaching, small group coaching, all of those fit underneath this team piece. And a lot of that can happen online. It's because we can't do live events right now. But you can do a virtual event, right? So that doesn't quite have the same. That doesn't quite have the same. That would be probably more underneath the S piece and an A piece at this point, because we're looking for team. It's more intimate than the social. You're getting to know, remember that engagement funnel image. You're looking at, we're here, there's less hand holding up here, less engagement with you, the expert, okay? And more engagement as you move down. And so that T piece is more engagement with you. They have more access to you, more hand holding than they would as just the social piece. So now I got to figure out where we are here. But nice. So, okay, you know what I know it was with the S piece was we're doing this example of natural healing and heavy metal detox. So let's back up for just a second and talk about the social piece. What would that look like for natural healing? So we had our M piece might be 5 foods to eat for detox, if that's our focus within that niche. And then you suggested the A piece could be a detox course. Maybe it's 30 days together and it's a course. Maybe it's just 4 weeks, once a week. So then what the S piece is really a value. If you're doing a course, we both highly recommend that you have some sort of Facebook group associated with it. And the way that we teach that, the course that's in the units here, it talks about tying those two together using Zoom like we are right now to broadcast into a private group that people have paid to be a part of. Of course, this group is free, but that's a way to add that S piece. And what's so valuable about that is when you put those two together, the course and I'm going back to the S, but you put the course and the social piece together, you're delivering content within a social environment and you're able to get immediate feedback. So that's really valuable. And I would think that's more valuable than going to, I've done there's a lot of social or course program platforms that are coming out now. That's the thing right now. But, 15 years ago, I've done I've used my autoresponder. I've done WordPress plugins. We did Amember, Kajabi, Kartra, anything else? We've done Udemy, but not in this kind of for this purpose. But hands down, I would say Zoom and a Facebook group, because when you can broadcast your content into a group, you do get that interaction, and that's really what you want. Because when people are engaging with you, they start investing in you. They invest their time and their money because you have done that for them. So providing if you're doing a 5-day challenge, a 30-day challenge, your course, I wouldn't do that standalone. I would have it be tied to a social piece, okay? And have it tied to a Facebook group. Now T, it's a little bit tighter, right? So what would that look like? Maybe what do you think, Ryan? An example with natural healing,
natural
the detox.
I mean, it could be a group of 8 or 10 on a Zoom call that you're taking them through a take action group. Like, hey, we're actually going to get through this material, because some people will be totally fine with the course and they're going to go off and do it on their own, and you're not going to hear from them. You're not going to know if they've done it or if they're killing it and doing really, really well. There's going to be some folks that need to have their hands held, essentially. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, they know it's more of accountability thing for them, that they know they're not going to do this unless there's somebody. It's like saying, hey, Jenny, last week you said you were going to eat red bell peppers. Did you have any last week? Oh, you did? Well, what's going on? That's going to give you inflammation and all that, all that type of stuff. Holding their hand, keeping them accountable. So we've done a lot of accountability groups. Obviously, it could be one-on-one coaching. We have a few friends that do this exact type of business where they're essentially health coaches, and they have one-on-one coaching. They do it over Zoom. They also do it in person if the person's local. Chrissy, our friend, also does live events where she'll do one-on 5 people live. Of course, she's not doing that probably right now, but that could be over Zoom. So guys, there's so many opportunities, just another way to serve folks in a deeper way. And it just is a way to get some people over the hump. Some people are going to need that 1-on-8, 1-on-1 even interaction to take action and get out of the course. So that material the thing that you want them to accomplish.
Yes. And we have so seen that, haven't we? Where people, they will pay for that accountability. That is totally worth
Right.
something
And it's not
to
new content. It's not like, oh my gosh, I have to come up with new content. No, 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 no,
exactly.
no. It's the exact same. You could go through the exact same thing that's in your course. Okay, today, guys, we're going to talk about module 1. And I'm going to like go around and say, okay, what did you get out of that? Or I'm going to, big part of it's be holding somebody accountable. So, Jenny, how did you do with module 1? How did that work out for you? Did you do
Mhm.
your 30 push-ups, or did you,
Right.
stay away from coffee, or whatever it is? People need that, because they know that, like, oh no, wait, I'm not going to pick up this piece of bread and eat it, because I know I'm going to be getting on a call with Jenny tomorrow, and she's going to ask me if I had bread, and if I did, she's going to get down my case, and I don't want that.
I'm
And
going to say
that's
I did too.
exactly, yeah, you did. That's right. But that right there is enough for them to be like, to be successful with your program,
Yes.
is that accountability piece. And some people are going to need that, and you can provide that super easily with a software like Zoom, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah. I love that you said that it can be the exact same content, because I'm looking at this slide and this
Yeah.
is saying higher level price point, which is totally true. Deeper level of training. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. That accountability actually should be on this slide. And I would edit on the fly, but I'm not going to do that. Um, that accountability is extremely valuable. And so just repurpose that content. What you're able to do even is, when you're inviting people into a small group, is you can almost customize it to them. You're adding a piece of coaching really to the course when you're getting a small group together. So all of that, not just the things that are here on this slide, higher level price point, deeper level of training, one-on-one access to you is more value, so you can charge more, but also accountability and almost like a custom, it's like a coaching atmosphere. Even in that live event time, people, if you're face to face with people, there's a feeling of coaching. There's a feeling of you're investing in them in a different level if you're getting coffee with them, or
Yeah.
you're even speaking from the stage. And so that all translates to more value that you are giving people. You're helping them because they're more engaged with you and you're more engaged with them. You are helping them be more successful. And that is extremely valuable to a lot of people. You can, like Ryan said, have maybe it's a 30-day challenge and it's just a calendar and it's no engagement with you. And that is your M piece. That's your lead generator. And then your course digs in, and it's not just a 30-day challenge, but it's also a shopping list for food, and it's recipes that are included. And maybe there's a weekly workshop that you do that's a webinar that involves a little bit more training. And then you get that social community growing where people can interact with each other. That's the other piece that's really cool, is you get peer coaching involved. And that's like a whole nother level. It's not just somebody had said, you can get a buddy system. Yes, absolutely. So that peer coaching too is very, very important. And then you get to this point and it's, again, just that same training, that same level. We're going to go through this together, but let's answer your questions a little bit more one-on-one or in a smaller group. So much value.
Absolutely.
So much value.
I know this is supposed to be mine, but you like to talk about the whole enchilada. This is end-to-end is done for you. So not every business model will this be an obvious one for you to think about. The example I think about is if you're a web designer and you created a course on how to create beautiful websites, well, you're going to have people that take your course and be like, forget this. How much to have you do this for me? How much if you're teaching people how to create listings on Amazon, for example, you're going to have a lot of people that don't want to learn it, that would just rather pay you to do it for them. So that's where this would fit in. Some end-to-end service. It's a done for you thing where you're not teaching them, you're actually doing it for them.
Mm-hmm. It is the whole enchilada. So that I wanted it to be enchilada, but end-to-end services won out for what that stands for. But yeah, doing it all for you.
And in our example of Private Label Easy Way, we have a list of leads that we give every month, and that's private label in a box, and that's a done for you thing. It cuts out the research piece of that course. It's not completely like done for you private label. Hey, we're going to do everything from A to Z. It's just part of the process. So maybe that's something you could think about too, is there part of the process that you could do for them and shortcut a
Mhm.
part of it. So I don't know about the detox. Let's think, is there anything in the
Let's
detox
think that
example
through.
that comes out as an example for this one?
So
Um,
what I would do is think, okay,
oh, I
how
have one.
much,
Yeah.
what can I do for them? Right. So, I mean, ultimately you could have a subscription box, like the food in a box that's sent,
Yeah.
work with, you know,
Could be that.
we're getting meat in a box sent to us every month right now, you know, and you've seen it all, the produce, and guys, we're moving in that direction right now in
Sure.
our world. And so, you could totally do that with a subscription box. That might be kind of weird with
Yeah.
food, but
Nutrition. So if it was a detox thing and you wanted them to do research on something that was like maybe you needed them to research what foods will be best for them, that maybe a done for you service would be, hey, we'll do that for you. We'll give you a nutrition guide based on your blood
right.
type or something. It could be like, we'll just, if,
Or
uh,
what's your problem? Here's done for you, you know, 30 days recipes. It
yeah.
doesn't have to be high ticket
There
either.
you go. It could just be recipes. If you're doing it, if you're a fitness coach or something, it could be, you tell us your age, your weight, what your goals you're trying to do, and we'll come back and give you a list of exercises specific to you. It could
Right.
be something that could be like a done for you.
Yep. And you could have the videos and everything for how to do the exercises already done, and you're just referencing them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's really look at it like what can I provide and do for them? And it might not be the whole enchilada, which is probably why it's better we didn't name it that. But you know, it's something, a part of what you're offering. What can you do for them? That's an opportunity to serve a broader audience. And some
Yeah.
people will they don't some okay, I'm wired in such a way that I want to understand. So I will go through, I might not go through the M piece and all that. I might want to go straight to the S and the T and the A piece. Like, you know, I want to go straight to the do it with me. Don't
Mm-hmm.
do it for me. Because if you do it for me, I don't understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's important to me. Other people are like, I don't want to know. I just want you to do it for me and just tell me what to do and I'm going to go do it, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so you're able to reach more people by
Yeah.
having this as an option. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be something, you don't have to have this now though, because one of the things we realized when we built out this blueprint was, how in the world are we going to offer an e-piece with private label? Because if we're going to do all the research and find the products and do all the testing and prove this out, why would we give that to somebody else? Why wouldn't we just have our own private label products, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so we had to wrestle with that a little bit, and it took some time and we figured it out. So it might look the same for you. So again, don't think you have to have all these pieces in place before you can move. It's really just look at the big picture so that you have a plan moving forward.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about this, guys, it doesn't have to be you. So if you were the person that was teaching people how to do a website, you have a course on building beautiful websites, and you have people that pay you to create a website. Well, don't think that has to be you behind the scenes cranking out code. You could, if you love that, maybe you love to do that. If it was going to be your time, you better charge a lot. You could have VAs that handle a lot of that heavy lifting work for you.
Mm-hmm. So Robert, that's a great example. I think that's almost more an example though of a done with you, like a T piece where you go out and because it's a coaching, you're teaching
Yeah.
somebody how to do it. You're doing it hands-on. It would be very expensive because you're flying out to their place. But done for you is really where they don't have to learn anything. You're just telling them giving it to them done, or saying do this, you know, and this. You don't have to figure out any of it. It's all, the pieces are all put together for them. But that's a great example though of another opportunity. Okay, so this, like I said, it's not coaching. It's a doing it for, it's a done for you. It's doing it for the customer so they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what you're looking for. Okay.
And again, guys, if you just jumped on here and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I got to do a lead magnet, I got to create a course, I got to have a Facebook community, I can come out mastermind events and coaching. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to get this off the ground. Relax. We're
Yep.
just saying, just do one of these things. And you can even jump into right into one-on-one coaching if you want. If that's the easiest for you to get started, just do that.
Right.
If you want to create a Facebook group, seems like the easiest, lowest hanging fruit for you. Do that, serve those people well, then your course comes, then your book comes after that.
Yes.
This webinar right here is just to kind of give you an opportunity to see what is possible, what we have done, and Believe me when I tell you that I created the book, I have no idea that it was going to be a course, a mastermind group, accountability groups, that we'd be doing rabbit trail over the shoulder calls, that I'd be doing live events. Never imagined that. Okay. But so you guys are already ahead, that you can see that there's a possible way to turn that idea that you have into these mini multiple streams. But don't even worry about what this looks like right now. Just like, of these that we're talking about, which one sounds like the one that I can launch the quickest
Mm-hmm.
and get it done fast and get it out there to the world? Pick
Mm-hmm.
that one.
Right. And we'll stick with us for probably 10 more minutes, and we'll talk about more about how you can figure out where to start. But the last piece is R, and that is recurring. And again, just like Ryan just said, you might not even know what this is. Just know that there's an opportunity to create some sort of recurring revenue. Okay. So recurring revenue can be a membership or a subscription. You might not even know how to do recurring with a detox or natural healing. What does that look like? You
Yeah,
know?
it could be like physical products that they get every month. If you're selling supplements, they're on a monthly subscription of those supplements every month. That
Right.
would be an example for that one.
Yep, that would be an example. Or and even just like recipes every month. And you know what's funny? You can really just reuse the same recipes and order, change the order of them. And
Yeah.
maybe you have 3 months worth of recipes, and you just send them a meal plan and a shopping list every month that's specific to their needs and what their goals are. But really what you want, if you don't know, and even if you think you do know, honestly take some time to listen to your audience. What do they want? What are they asking for? What are they needing month after month, or quarter after quarter, or year after year, that you could offer over and over and over again? And honestly, it could be data, information, it could be additional training, and it could be something that's seasonal, that changes every quarter. Here's your summer version. Here's your summer recipes. Here's your winter recipes. Here's your, or here's your workout for summer. You can get outside, or maybe you can't because you live in Arizona or Texas where it's like 200 degrees and you have to be inside. Whatever it is, you can, what is it that is something that is repeated, that people are asking for and needing? That would be a recurring piece. And there could be overlap, right? So your recurring membership, it might also be another piece. It might be tied to a Facebook group. It might be your social piece, where people are paying a recurring fee to be a part of a group. Now, let me just say, the rules are kind of weird with Facebook, where you can't necessarily charge to be in a group, but you can charge for the content that's in the group. Okay, the community, being in the community is, and having access to that content that's in the community, is something you can charge for. But the fact that it's in Facebook is the bonus. Okay, it's just kind of how you're looking at it. But example, we have the research piece. It's the same. This is the same as our E piece for private label. So for the natural healing, we talked about that, like what that could be. Maybe it's recipes, a plan, a meal plan. Maybe it's a lifestyle plan, so, and it goes through a calendar year. The month of January, you do this. The month of February, there's a lady I know who does, and before Facebook was even around, she's been doing this for years. She helps people clean their house, right? So every day there's something different to do, and it's the same thing every year. So she has, like, on day, like January 1st, and I don't know if this is really what January 1st is, but January 1st is like clean the top shelf of your refrigerator, and then all these other things too. So over time, you've regularly cleaned out your whole refrigerator. You're just not doing it all in one task at one time. You're just doing one shelf at a time, or one drawer, or whatever. So that she takes the whole big picture and breaks it down into little pieces. Well, come the next year, it's the same thing, only she's put the dates to it for the new year, and people buy it again. I'm like, why are you buying it again? Just use the same one. But whatever that people do, she has a huge following for that. And so thinking about what is it people are using over and over and over again. And that would be your recurring piece. And the price point on that can be a huge spectrum. Anything you want to add on the R piece? Okay, nope. Let's keep going. So this, I think, might simplify it a little bit. Is, we know DIY, do it yourself, right? and people are wired differently. And this is how kind of I see this as a spectrum, because you're reaching different parts of your audience. Some people are going to take what you offer and want to go do it by themselves. I would say that's a very small percentage. More, there might be a larger percentage of people who think they're going to do that, but the people who actually take action to do that, they'll do it, and then they'll go, you know what, I need help. I need accountability. I want to be in community with this. And so they'll actually come back to you for more. A very small percentage will take the book or take the checklist or take the course that you've done and never come back to you again. Okay. They'll realize, you know what, I need more hand holding, or I need to be doing this with other people. We're created for that. So, but that is an important piece to provide, is this do it yourself piece. Okay. That helps you hit those people and reach the needs of those people. That's the M and the A. The S and the T are more like a done with you, right? So you're kind of journeying with people. The do it yourself, you don't really necessarily have to ever have contact with those people. They could take your book or your checklist or, you know, whatever it is you're offering there, and take it, read it, apply it or not, and never get back in touch with you. The S and the T piece allows you to have some journeying with them. It allows you to build more relationship with them. So that's more a done with you type of a thing. And I would think that most people will respond to these two pieces, the done with you. Most people want to journey with. Okay, that's probably going to be the largest. And then the E is a done for you piece. So that's where you are, right? You're doing it for them. So you have a do it yourself, a done with you, and then a done for you. And that R piece could be any of them. It could be a do it yourself. It can actually be your A. It could be your S. It could be your T, and it could be your E. It could be more than one, or it could be something that's totally on its own. So that R piece is kind of fits all of them. But that I thought might help put these things in just a different perspective. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, when you have a blueprint for a house, that's really what this is a blueprint. And it's what your house is going to look like when it's done, right? And how to build it. And, but your house is not all of a sudden done the next day. You're building it one part at a time. Now, I've never built a house, so I can't go much further than that but I know that like the walls are not all painted all at once. The walls might go up, maybe the foundation is set first, and then, I don't know, the floor, whatever, then the walls are up, and then the interior walls, and then you're putting the sheetrock on, and then you're doing the painting, whatever. Though each of those layers happen, and maybe you do part of the house and you do the basement and you finish the basement later, right? There's some things that need to be put into place for anything to happen. And then there's other things that I know, okay, so when I was younger, we remodeled, my parents, we kind of did it as a family, but I was in 9th grade, so I don't know how much I really contributed. I did help put the roof on, but we remodeled our house. And for years after we remodeled it, the windowsills were never actually nailed into place. They just sat there until the house got sold years later. And so, when you just don't ever get to it and finish it, but that you can kind of do that. Like that wasn't a priority for us. We had other priorities of things that had to get done or things that we wanted to finish, that my parents wanted to. And so there's certain things that have to be done. And then there's other things that you can kind of do on your own. Maybe you don't quite get the curtains up the way you want them right at first. Maybe you're doing the living room and getting that ready before you get the guest room done, or whatever. So this is your blueprint. It's not that you have to apply it and implement it all at once. But guys, this system works. We have used it in our own businesses. We have helped lots of other people build businesses around this blueprint as well. And what I think is helpful when you're looking at where in the world do I start is knowing you can, now that you have the big picture and the map, you can decide, you might start, like Ryan was saying, with that Facebook group, knowing that, I'm going to probably need to figure out what my A is, and I should probably have a lead generator. Okay. And eventually I want to have a live event or a mastermind, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm going to focus in on my S. So you are able to focus in and not feel like you're being blind to and just floundering around. You have a plan. You might not know exactly what your next piece is going to be, but that's why you listen to your audience, because they will tell you.
Mhm.
Where do you start, Ryan? What would you say? How would you answer
Where to
that?
start? I mean, I believe, okay, so probably not the end-to-end serve. Well, it could be like if you're used to doing, if you're are doing websites for people already, that would be, you already doing, okay, look, guys, look at this. You may already be doing some of these. Like, is there one that you already have or have the
Right.
pieces to? You may have a lead magnet already up in your head or already outlined, and would take just getting on Canva or hiring somebody on Fiverr. I literally would look at which one is going to be the fastest and the easiest to get started. I would think for most of you guys, the one that's going to bring in leads the quickest would be either a lead magnet and putting together some type of quick lead magnet, or creating a Facebook group. Because a Facebook group, now you're not going to get those emails right off the bat, but you would still conserve those folks well, and then come up with lead magnet and say, hey guys, I wanted to give you something for free. Here it is. And then it's a link back to your landing page that has that lead magnet. So I'd say probably the M or the S would be the easiest places to start
Mm-hmm.
of any of these.
Mm-hmm. It really does depend on where you're at, I think.
And
That,
Michael said coaching would be the easiest. And guys, that might be easy for you too. So if people are, maybe that you are wanting to be a fitness coach, and you could easily just put a post out on Facebook saying, hey guys, you all know that, I've been working out really hard over the last year, lost 50 pounds. I am passionate about helping people do the exact same thing. And I've already helped a lot of people, been doing it for free, but I would like to turn this into a business. And I'm going to be offering, coaching for the first 3 people, and it's going to be a discount. It's going to be a starter charter price. And so that could be an easy place for some of you to start. Go right into one-on-one coaching.
yeah, and you know what? A lot of people right now are being forced to pivot. They've been working, maybe you've lost your job and you have a skill set and you're like, what do I do with this? One of the things I posted recently on my Facebook page, and I think I might have done it in this group as well, was, are you a teacher or a coach? Who you need to create a course and you don't know how to do that. Maybe you're a teacher and you're looking at how to make more money, like now. You don't know what the future holds, or things are kind of unstable for you as far as your employment goes, and you're looking to, but what your other options are. What is it you were doing? Can you turn that into coaching? The hot seat that we did with Jason Smith a couple weeks ago, it started for him, it was coaching. He's already doing coaching. And so it was, pulling out, okay, you've got that T piece, you can solidify that more if you'd like to, or you need to, and build out from there. So it really does depend on where you are, what your where you're at and what your expertise is, what you already have. It doesn't have to be coaching. It could be just building a social community and start listening to people.
Mm-hmm.
Let that decide for you as well. Okay, where are we here? So guys, okay, 2020 has been weird, right? We just say that right up. It's so weird, but it is a huge opportunity to pivot. And I would still say, this was a slide from a different presentation, but I still would say 2020 is a game changer, whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But we can use this, what's happening around us. We can find opportunity there, and there is a lot of opportunity to step into. And that's what we really want to do, is give you hope. Remember, at the beginning of this, I had mentioned that when I was talking about the toilet paper, that yesterday we were looking to encourage and to empower you to step into what you're knowledgeable about, what you are interested in, what you're passionate about. And we're hoping that by sharing our blueprint and our map with you, that now you feel like, you know what, I'm a bit equipped. I can do this. I don't have to do it all at once. I have a map and I know what the pieces are that I need to create over time.
That's good. We want to be your guides.
Yep. We want to be your guides. Yes. You are the hero here. You are the one who, you have something, and we want to empower you and equip you to step into that. This, where we are in our world right now, is providing a huge opportunity for you to do that, to step into that. And that's why I think 2020 really is not the game changer I thought it would be back in December or even January.
No.
But it is a game changer for sure. It really just depends on what are you going to do with it. You know, we've all been dealt kind of the same cards right now in a lot of ways. What are you going to do with it? And there is huge opportunity. We'd love to guide you through that. Do you want to go through this?
Sure. Yeah. So we have the training that we just went through tonight, guys, just kind of an overview. So again, it's like almost the M piece, it's the meet and eat piece, just showing you what's possible inside this Influence the Easy Way group that we have. It goes much deeper. We have full long webinars on each of these pieces, going deep.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, answering.
Yeah, no problem. We have, so the private mentoring community, we live what we preach.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a private mentoring community in there where you can ask questions and where we're listening to see how else we can serve folks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Facebook group that we're in there all the time. A monthly office hour hangout. These are fun. Our next one is going to be, I think, Monday night. We're going to do one where we're just hanging out, and it's almost like an ask me anything type of call. What questions do you guys have? Where are you stuck? How can we help you?
Come on, why isn't it skipping?
Monthly training on the theme of our choice. So yeah, every month we have some topic that we just decide to do a one-off webinar on. That's always fun to do that.
Yes, and I'll tell you what we're doing next month in a minute.
Yeah, sure. Opportunities for rev share. So this is really cool. Jenny and I love finding new opportunities, love helping people. There are folks that we feel like we can come alongside and help launch their thing. And so we have done that a few times with folks. And if we feel like we can add value to what you're trying to do, then there might even be an opportunity to partner with us and get that out there and launch it faster.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive retreats. We just had one in San Diego. Thank God it happened when it did. Otherwise we wouldn't have had it, but it was at the end of February and it was in San Diego, and we just had a blast. And that was for those folks that were in that group, the Influence Easy Way group. We had about 6 people come. It was really fun. Access to our resource team. So we have a lot of people that can help get you moving further. If you need website help, if you need somebody to help you with a podcast, you need some publishing a book, all that type of stuff, you have access to those folks that we use. Mm-hmm. We have a 12-month inner circle program. So this is our T. This is our T piece for this program, where it's almost like a little mastermind group, and we get together on separate Zoom calls and help people like really dive deep into their business, really help move them along, where all of our attention's focused on them. So that you have an opportunity to get into that. Of course, the value is through the roof.
And with the inner circle, that the retreat is free for them, the exclusive retreats, but right now that is closed. But we do have the basic program that is open right now, and we just changed it. So Ryan just went through it all. We have a webinar that we've gone through for each of these: the M, the S, the A, the S, the T, the E, and the R for more training. There's a whole another community. We do the monthly office hour hangout. Our next one is this Monday night, the training on a theme of our choice. Opportunity for rev share. Jean just asked, what is rev share again? It's where basically sometimes there's opportunity where, like Ryan was saying, that we can help step in and partner with you to bring something into fruition. And so sometimes there's opportunity to do that, where we partner with you and we split the revenue, basically. Mm-hmm. Exclusive retreats. This is what Ryan just went through. But I wanted to say that next month this is called Influence the Easy Way. It's our basic membership program. And next month, I think we're going to do a program. We're actually just kind of buttoning down the details, where it's kind of a 10-day challenge where we're going to walk you through finding your people and finding your passion. We'll walk through a lot of what we've taught, but actually step deeper into it with you, helping you find your Facebook group of people, learning how to interact with that group and listen, developing those skills to listen to the audience, to all the way through creating your lead magnet. So that's what we're doing for training next month. I think that's the plan. So if you want to be a part of that, you are welcome to join us. It's $47 a month. However, right now, just $1 for the first month.
One George Washington.
Yep. Yeah. So I should have.
Don't send cash. Don't send cash in the mail. Well, I saw I saw a post on Facebook. There was somebody that I don't know if it's true or not, but it looked like it was legit. A guy that works at a bank that showed pictures of fried money. Essentially, some person went through the drive-through and wanted to deposit this money that they had, quote, sanitized in their microwave because of the coronavirus, and it was all black. And they were saying, deposit as much of it as you can. Well, the guy was saying he couldn't deposit any of it; it was all ruined.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, okay, along those lines, since we're talking about that, my daughter's a part of a fundraiser she does something called Teen Pact. And one of the things they're doing is get all of your spare change together and donate it. And she's like, okay, I'll do that. So she went and did it. She's like, how do I give them my change? Like, how do I send that to them? Like, I'm not going to send it to them in the mail. And so now she's like, shoot, now I got to do it through my bank account. And then I still have the change.
Right.
But anyway, no, don't send us money that way. It's all through PayPal or a credit card, whatever, however you want to deal with it. But the website isn't on here. I'm going to add it.
I'll put it, influenceeasyway.com, right?
Yep. Influencetheeasyway.com. Editing slides on the fly.
So it's $1 for the first month, and it's $47 a month, right?
Yes, $1 for the first month, and then $47 every month after that. It's automatic. You can cancel anytime. You can cancel after that first month and not be charged the $47 and get out of the group. That's totally up to you. And like I said, next month we're going to be digging into. I think we're going to be digging into this 10 days of finding your people, finding your passion. So if you want to be a part of that, if you join before Monday, we have the Monday Hangout Monday night. So there's that as well. And there's already a lot of training already in there. Like, let's go back to this list. So we have, the MASTER. We actually go deeper for each of those. There's training in there. There's other resources that are already in there. All of the training that we did have done so far is still in that group. So, there's a lot of content there. So we'd love to invite you to be a part of it. Again, it's $1 for the first month and then $47 for every month after. So influencetheeasyway.com. Are there any questions? Will it help with books? What kind of help, Michael? What kind of help?
You're talking to the person that knows a lot about publishing books for sure. Jenny's got whole courses about that.
Yeah. So of course, what we are doing is trying to listen to that community and paying attention to what the needs are. And then that's where our training comes around for the next month. So we don't have, we could talk about a lot of things in there and have a schedule, we're going to hit books in August. Well, that's not really how Ryan and I work. We like to listen and be able to pivot on the fly. And so that we find that that's most valuable for the people that we're serving, and it allows us to provide valuable content on, what's needed in the moment. So that's really what we're doing. So I don't know if we'll dig deeper into books or not, but
I would say it would help for sure to further monetize that content that's in a book.
Absolutely.
As far as like showing you how to publish a book, we probably be better served just to say, hey, here, go over and do this, or hire this person to do it for you, or get into 10 books in 10 days, which looks like you're already in, you said. Probably not going to be so much the nuts and bolts of that piece, since there's other resources for that. It's going to be how to take that and further monetize it and create multiple streams from that same content.
Yes. So if you're in the 10 books in 10 days, you've already learned how to publish. And actually in that group, there'll be some other options for KDP specifically, but like exactly what Ryan said, for this particular program, Influence the Easy Way. And guys, this is where our hearts are for sure, in helping people grow their business around something that what their message is, what you have that you enjoy, that you are interested in, and all that. Jean, you had a good point. I think the most important thing is, what do I know that can help the most people? That is, a lot of people really get stuck there. And I'll tell you, I think this 10-day challenge that we're working on, Know Your People, Know Your Passion, will help with that, because as you get to know your audience, and I don't know that I would have come to this conclusion except from my own experience, and I've seen other people experience the same thing. As you get to know your audience, you get to know how you can serve them. So when you get involved and you start serving and engaging, those those gaps in trying to understand what it is you have to offer will be filled. You will start to understand that more because you have been listening and serving an audience. They will tell you exactly what they need and what you can provide them. And so that's all a part of the Know Your People, Know Your Passion program that we're looking to do next month. So if one of the things we also do in the Influence the Easy Way group is we'll do something there, and then we will sell it outside of that group. So if you're there, you get a discount or get it for free. But if you're not in the group, you still might have access to that content, but it'll cost you. So just something to think about, another benefit for being in there. We'd love to see you guys in there. We really do. That group is really important to us because we want people to really understand what's possible and be equipped to be able to reach that. So
answer Jenna's question. That's a good one. Up a bit further, I'll read it off to you. So curious what you think. Some people say you don't need to be a guru in your topic in order to teach. You just have to be at least one step ahead of those you're teaching. What do you think?
I totally agree with that. And the other thing, okay, so yesterday I talked a little bit about my story. I'll give you an example. I knew how to sell on eBay. And I had learned, I didn't have years of experience under my belt, but I learned a lot from someone who did. I mean, she trained me well. I started a membership site, a newsletter subscription, that R piece, where people paid me $1.99 a month, and I gave them every week a list of used children's items that they could resell, that they could find at garage sales regularly. And I gave some data to support that every week. That's what they got. Well, remember I said at the end of the year, I got an email from someone and they said, how do I sell new toys? And I'm like, I have no idea, but I knew how to figure it out. And they could have done the same thing I did. They really could have, but they needed somebody. They really wanted that accountability. They wanted that done with you. They wanted somebody to journey with them. So I went and did all the research and figured out how to know what toys are going to sell, how to figure out, are they worth buying to flip? What are they selling for on eBay? And did all of that for them. I was a step ahead, but I also, in that scenario, I didn't have the answer, but I knew how to find the answer. And so even just having that much understanding how you can meet some of those needs, you don't have to have all the answers. You can just know people who have the answers and bring them in. So really you can be a connector, and that actually can be something that you can actually monetize that you are the person, you're like the Google. But I'll tell you, people, like earlier on, we said that the number one thing that keeps people from taking action is overwhelm. If you can remove that, you are offering a huge service, no matter what the topic is, even if you're not the guru for the topic. So I think that there's that, but I also believe that you probably know, like Brian was saying yesterday, you know more than you think you do. You have something, you do not have to have all the answers. And I think people appreciate that. But you are a step ahead. Ryan, you say, and you'll probably say this, and I should just let you say it, about Amazon sellers. People who are selling on Amazon don't realize that they know so much. Even if you've just made one sale, you know so much more than most people. Most people don't even know you can sell on Amazon. Mm-hmm. They think they're buying from Amazon. They don't even realize they're buying from a third party.
That's right.
You want to?
Yeah, and what I was gonna say is kind of what you already said, which is brilliant. Which is you can be like the person that connects. So, Melaine watches these folks. She eats paleo and gluten-free, dairy-free, and there's autoimmune paleo summit, like very, very, very niche, like super narrowed down to people that are deal with autoimmune diseases and eat paleo because of it. It's called AIP. It's the whole thing. You could be the person that puts together the summit, just brings all these other experts. Yep. So whatever your niche is, you don't have to be the person that's the doctor. So taking this detox and natural health niche that we started with, maybe you put on a virtual summit and invite all of the gurus in this area to this summit, and you just put it on. Your email list is going to grow, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, hey guys, I'm invited to this. Now, it may be harder to start here if they don't know who you are at all. But you could easily get to a point to where they're then going to be saying, hey, I'm going to be part of this virtual summit. It's July 30th and 31st. Here's where you go to sign up. Well, if you're the one that owns that cart, that shopping cart there, you're going to get all those emails and your list is going to grow because all these experts are going to be telling their audience on Instagram, on Facebook, through their email list, hey, join me, watch me. I'm going to be speaker number 1 on the first day. And you could be in that. You don't have to be the person. Of course, you're going to learn those things by listening to them, but you don't have to be the go-to expert. You can just be the connector, like Jenny said.
Absolutely.
You can even write a book that you're the author, but then you have these co-authors, and there's all these famous people in this niche. There's a lot of people that have done that, that have had a book launch, and it's basically chapters from all these different famous people in this same niche.
Maybe you're you have a gift of being able to take a complicated concept and simplify it. And there's you don't have to understand or know the original content, but maybe you provide a way, hey, we're going to go through this content that somebody did, and we're going to talk about it, and the way you're summarizing it provides value. There's so many opportunities. So don't think, really don't think you don't have anything. Don't think that you have to be a guru, because that guru word means different things to different people, and that will shut you down. It's not about being a guru. It's really all about, can you serve?
Right.
Can you serve, and how can you serve? Get involved. You'll start seeing the opportunities for more, for you to be able to serve more, and it will just create this cycle for you. So, any other questions? We're good?
I think so. Yep.
Awesome. Great questions, guys. Thanks for interacting and sharing some of your ideas and niches. And maybe we'll have to do another hot seat. Maybe next month we'll get one doing that again. Those are a lot of fun, but love sharing this blueprint with people. Usually the light bulbs go on and it's like, oh my goodness, I don't have to be overwhelmed with all of this stuff.
Right.
I have a plan now. You guys can take that. And in fact, I think that image is available underneath the units. Just take it and start, writing it out, doing your own, take notes. Did you take notes tonight? Right. We also have, if you want to just was thinking, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, there's this workbook that actually walks in deeper to the, through that map. And I think we're going to put the PDF for this, if it's not already, inside Influence the Easy Way group. But this you could get on Amazon, and it's a workbook that walks you through that map, and that Ryan and I put together. So that's on Amazon. But there's lots of, take it and do what you do. You have the tools to do this. Know that you do. If you want more support, come into influencetheeasyway.com. We really are happy to walk with you and journey with you on this, and coach you along the way. So I guess we did go a little over, but
all right. Good stuff.
It was good. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome. We'll see you in the group.
Yep. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.